Here we are with our 2002 Toyota Camry. This is the 6-cylinder 3.0 liter engine, and we're going to remove the alternator. We've got problems with our charging system, and I've kind of diagnosed it down to the alternator. Both the alternator and the battery are old. We've had this car since 138,000 miles, 134, something like that. It's got over 200,000 now. I've never changed the alternator on it, so I don't even know if it's ever been changed. It could be the OEM part. What I'm checking here is the belt. It's nice and tight, so that's the way I'm going to put it back on when we get the new one. First thing I'm going to do is remove this 14 millimeter pivot bolt. Goes through the alternator bracket. On the other end there is a nut. So there's the nut there. Alright, pivot bolt is loosened. Now we're going to go to the pinch bolt, which is right there. We're going to loosen that. I believe that is a 12 millimeter. Good. Okay, that should be good enough. Now go up to the bolt right there, top. You're going to need an extension on that. That is a 12 millimeter also. That's going to be the adjustment bolt right there. So we want to, right there, so we want to loosen that. And when you do that, the belt should start loosening. We want to remove that belt. The belt is getting really slack. Almost there. Go ahead and keep doing that. More. Okay, we're getting pretty close to it. Let's see if we can push this down anymore. There we go. Okay. Belt should come off. Go ahead and loosen. Well, alright, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to need to do now is take this bolt that we started, we first loosened. We're going to go ahead and take it all the way out. And we're going to take that pinch bolt down there all the way out. All right. Go ahead and take the other one out there. Okay, go ahead and take it out with your fingers if you can. I lifted up on this alternator to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so that is the pinch bolt. All we need to do now is to remove the two connectors, electric connectors. One of them is right here. There's going to be a cap, rubber boot. Just pull that away, and that looks to be like an 8 or a 10 millimeter. The second one will be right here, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let's go ahead and get this one off first. Okay, so that is a 10 millimeter. Just take that nut all the way off. Make sure it doesn't fall out. Okay, and just lift that wire off. Okay, very good. Second electrical connector is right here, and there is a little rubber boot on it. Now it is a push plug, so you just squeeze and pull. Very good. All right, now we need to find our path to bring the alternator out of here. So we're going to move this wiring harness out of the way. Lift it up, there you go. So we're going to move this over here, taking a screwdriver and putting it right down there. Just kind of prying with my other hand, trying to get it. Okay, so I think we can all right, we're coming up here to the front. All right, the alternator is out. Now, when we go to exchange and get the new one, you have to bring this to get some a core return. I want to make sure that the new one has something set up like this before I just hand it over to them and leave. At least a nut of some type, preferably like we have here. So we want to make sure that the new one's going to have something set up like this. Otherwise we'll have to remove this or just use just another nut altogether. Back now with our ValueCraft $164 alternator replacement. Appears to be the same. What I really wanted to look at was making sure that we had the connectors right and that this was like the old one. So it looks good. Let's go ahead and put it in place. All right, putting it in is probably the hardest part of this whole job, is taking it out and putting the new one in. Just pulling this hose up here. Our connector wire's back. It's nice if you have a bungee cord to hold it back or someone to help you. And other than that, it goes in pretty well. Didn't have any problem getting it in here. A lot of times that's really tight, but not in this case. So we're going to grab our bolts and try to put it back in. Now we're lining up the adjustment bracket. There's a hole right here that pinch bolt goes through. We'll line it up with the hole in the alternator, the mounting hole in the alternator, which is somewhere around here. Swivel the alternator. So we can get that to line up. before tightening that lower pinch bolt anymore, we're going to put the belt on. Make sure that we're going to have it on the crankshaft and on the AC right down there. Line up the ribs, and then so we still got some movement with our alternator. Should be able to put it on. If you're having difficulty putting it on, just make sure that you didn't tighten the pinch bolt too much. And before doing anything, we want to make sure everything lines up. The ribs. Belt on, lined up. Just going to push it and put our wrench back on and tighten that snug. But all right, now we're up at the adjustment bolt. We're just going to keep tightening it until the belt gets tight. Remember, we can't do this if the two mounting bolts are tight. They have to be just kind of hand tightened in there. We'll come back after we get it adjusted and tighten both of those. This is nice. Okay, so we've got the belt tightened again. Just continuously tightening the adjustment bolt here to do that. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten the pivot bolt down all the way, and then we will tighten this pinch bolt so that the adjustment bolt doesn't move. All right, mounting bolts are tightened down. Now we're going to put the connectors back on. And we got the top one here. They gave us a nut. Oh, I'm going to drop that. I'm going to use two hands and go ahead and get it started. All right, we've got our nut tightened down, put our boot back on, and then we will put the connector, just snap it back in place. That's good. Put the boot over it. Keep it from getting wet. And that's it. We're finished. Out in the rain here with the ValueCraft alternator replace on this 2002 Camry 3.0 liter. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time, have a nice day out there. Take care.